All right. Hi, my fuss.
Hi, Boo.
How's your life today?
It's wonderful now that I'm off work. That kind of, as soon as you get off, you be like, whoo, one day down, another to
Yeah.
go.
Swear.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you decided to log in with me.
Mhm.
Looking all golden. I don't know what you putting on your skin, but it looks fabulous.
The sun.
For real. Like your skin look real good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So, these questions and what we're going to discuss, just is off the top, off the rip. So,
Oh, okay.
whatever you want
Okay.
to know or whatever you want to talk about first, let's just jump right in. I don't care however you want to play it out. You know, let's just go.
Okay.
Turn my ringer off. All right, so you got the book.
Yes, I got the
And
book.
yay, creating therapy. Yay. And did you read all of them or did you read just a few?
I read them all.
You did.
I read it all.
Wow. Okay, you're awesome. I got the book and I ain't read them all yet. But okay, well, what you think overall? Like, what's your
Overall, I love the book. I love the concept. I love the fluidity of the poems. I love the way you kind of went from, younger days, and you went into different momentous, whether it be bad or good occasions in your life, and you wrote about it, and it kind of the O the O, and I
from
said
the
that
H I
I
double
started
L to B
cracking
to B to
up.
O to O from the H I double. I
Oh,
thought I was a rapper back in the day.
I said, oh my gosh, took me right back to that moment. Like, wow,
Where?
this is hilarious. Nobody really knows what this means, but I completely know because I
You
remember
were
playing
there.
that tape and that
Yeah.
song went off, and then you didn't even tell me, you didn't even prepare me for the 16 bars. I was like,
Hey,
oh, okay,
I thought
you're
I
a
was
rapper
killing it.
now.
I thought I was killing it. Yeah, I knew. I just knew in my
Yeah.
lifetime I was going to be a rapper, and that's all. Them was all the bars I had.
Yeah, but they was hard though. You know what? Nobody spitting them like that back then.
Hey, yeah,
So
that is
it
so
was
funny.
nice. I was cracking up. I had a moment there. I was like, wow, what
Yeah,
that?
memories, right?
Hmm. Good memories.
Yes, we did. We had great memories.
Yeah, and then I was trying to read the poems, kind of like how the way you be saying them
Uh,
in my head. So that was fun, and I like a few of them. I put notes because there was like certain things like the poem "Evolved Woman." I just thought about like the evolution of just growing and evolving,
yeah,
and the whole not concept, but the whole way we go about being a baby and then a child and then
yeah.
a kid and then a teenager, and just every moment that you have that you experience as you're going through that path of evolution is just it's crazy. It had me thinking about that when I read that poem.
Oh, that's good. That
It was
seems to
deep.
stick out to a lot of people, and I'm
Yeah.
glad that I actually was. I guess I became a little bold enough to even put that out there, stuff like that out there. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it just stands out. So it's good for me to see people either like relating or they pick up on exactly my point, exactly of what I'm writing. Because sometimes when I'm
Yeah.
writing, I'm like, is this going to make sense to everybody else? But in my head, it makes sense. Like there's a whole
Yeah.
story in my head, and
Hmm.
I can only put bits and pieces. But yeah, that's great. That's a great input. I like that you said that. Thank you.
You're welcome. I was like, wow, this is good. I'm trying not to go over my breaks because working from home, you got to stay on task.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take this 15-minute break, and I start reading, and the next thing you know, it was 20 minutes. I'm like, oh, my bad, it got juicy. And then I like the little quotes that you put in along the way on the book. I love the pictures, of course.
Thank
I love the
you.
the planting versus parenting. I
Yes.
thought that was really, really, really neat the way you worded it and the thoughts of it all, because I too cannot keep a plant to save my life.
Oh my God.
Every plant I ever got died, and I like really tried, but it just don't work for me either. So
one day we're going to do this together. We're going to figure out how to keep plants alive together.
Like, and it can't, like, how is it this hard to keep a plant? All you do is water it, like, and pluck the little leaves or what, the little dead leaves out or whatever. I said, that's deep, because I understand that one, because I done killed a couple plants. Spider plant, Nisha gave me a piece of her spider plant, and I said, I'm like, girl, this going because she had one of the long ones, because she's really good with that stuff.
Okay.
It took me a couple of weeks. That mug was big to the mug. I was like, damn.
You be talking to it, thinking you nurturing, like, oh, good morning, plants. You think that you're doing something good, and listen, it you be like, dang.
And committed planticide. Like, what happened? Trying to get away from me? What did I do? Love you too much?
Listen, and that was a story I wrote. Planting versus parenting. I wrote that because one of the brown mamas, her name is Tiffany Huff Struthers. She has her website and everything going, When She Thrives, and she asked me to write on her blog. So I ended up writing that story, and she posted it on her site. So yeah, it's true. Everything in this book is real.
I know.
you know.
And then I was looking at the plant, like, after I read it, I was like, oh, little plant.
Right. It was cute. Wasn't it cute? Rain used to be talking to it. I had the kids in on it, like, look, we're going to keep it alive. We're going to talk to this thing. We're going to water it. We're going to rub the leaves gently.
Embrace her. You got to give her a name.
Listen.
Keep part of the family now.
Yeah, she died quick. Plant aside, like you said.
It's like, I don't need all of that, y'all. I just need some sun, some water, and some peace and quiet.
For real.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, I did. I was digging Wishes. I like that one as well. It was cute. Okay. I was like, oh, okay. But I really love to listen to Mr. Wrong. I got a heart by that one.
Whew. What part of that did you like the most? Like, give me a line that you liked.
Okay. You already showed me you didn't want me more. Hold on. You already showed me you didn't want more. I chose to ignore the honesty and the signs, because in my head we were going too far. I was like, dang, I remember feeling that way. I remember going through that. I remember.
Yeah.
I was like, dang.
Yeah.
Got me thinking about being played.
Right. Bringing up them bad memories.
Yeah,
right?
It happens to the best of us.
It happens, but it's real. And the thing is, I was like, I should have listened. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
He told me, showed me who he was.
He showed you, but you weren't paying attention to what he showed you. You were listening to his words. And you can't listen to what people say. You got to listen to what people do. Yep. The nonverbal speaks the truth. Yeah. And that poem is very, like, that's kind of like what, like, you pay attention to what they're not saying.
Oh, yeah.
Forget about what they
say. Pay attention to what they're not saying. You absolutely right. Because, you get caught up and you start falling for them, and you like, he's doing this, but in my head, it could go, it can change. It can switch.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. One day it's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
And it's okay to walk away.
And it's okay, because sometimes that person is just one pebble in the stone block of your journey, and they're not meant to be more than that. Period. Yep. Sometimes it's a lesson, sometimes it's a blessing, sometimes it's neither. Yeah. You just gotta keep moving forward.
Sometimes the lesson might be for him.
Yeah.
So just like you said, you just gotta keep moving forward. So whoever gets the lesson out of that, the blessing or whatever it is, it was an experience, and you just got to move on from it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was like, that was cool. And Burn. I was like, yeah, I read that like 2 times. I read it back to back. Like, let me read back. Let me double back on that one. 'Cause that one really like touched me. I was like, wow. And because I try to like put like little notes to myself so that when we did talk, I'd be able to, oh yeah, kind of think about it. And I put a love lost and a love found.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at with that one.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed this poem. I was like, well, that's deep.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go back to that one.
Yeah.
Let me double back one again.
Wait, let me ask you something. Let me go back to Evolve Woman. Since Evolve Woman had so many different parts to it, if you did have one, what was your favorite part? Like what stood out the most? Not that it had to be your favorite, but like what stood out the most?
Okay. Looking. I think the part when it's talking about being I'm a victim, not intentionally. And then it's like you talk about loving a person that attacks you and beats you. I like that part, and I like how you took it, and you was like, I took it, and then I took the negative, and then I became kind of like the aggressor, or I made the men my victims, basically. You know what I'm saying? Off of what I was going through and how I was feeling. I like that part, and then I like the part about having faith and being a believer.
Yeah,
because of the grandparents. I love that part too. I love the journey, how you kind of went through some dark valleys, and then you got to the light in the story of the poem. So I was digging that, and the part about being a mommy, creating life.
Yeah.
I was digging that part too.
Thank you. I think that's going to be like the number one. Everybody really loves that one.
Yeah.
So I have to put that on my YouTube channel because it's getting a lot of attention, and that's the one that it seems like that's the one everybody is like gravitating to. Anytime I ask somebody what they like about the book, that's the one that they say first. It's like, wow, you actually like gave a lot of information. So I have to put that out there.
Yeah, that was a good one. I enjoyed that one as well. I really enjoyed all of them, but those ones stuck out to me. I like Just My Thought. The only reason you don't have what you need yet is because you don't know what you need until you need it. Yeah. I was like, yes, honey.
That's true.
You talking, speaking facts out here in these streets.
And that's how it be too. You don't even be thinking about something. You be like, what I need this? Yeah, you don't even know. You don't know until you need it. And that goes for everything. It ain't even. I'm not even just talking about material thing because I'm so much more emotional. Oh, I need to be over there with you. What's that?
It's some white wine.
I'm over here drinking. I'm over here about to crack bottle of water. You over there with wine.
Water's good for you, though. I drink that all day.
So is wine.
I had a long day. Today was my late shift, so I get off at 7. You're like, I should have been off at 4:30. Darn it.
Yeah, girl, wine is good for you too. Yes. But I'll probably
indeed.
But yeah, that's not even only about material things. It's more for my purpose. I wrote it for more emotional because you be like, as you grow, as you evolve, you're like, well, I thought I liked this more, but as you grow, your needs and your wants change so much. You're like, I didn't even think, I didn't expect to need this or want this type of attention from a man or from my parents or whatever, whoever it is.
Whatever it is.
I wrote that more of an emotional thing. Now, I know some people could probably relate to it on a material level, but it wasn't written for that purpose from me. Yeah. But you can read it and interpret it. You can interpret it how you exactly. Yeah.
That's the beauty of words.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, so the resume rant, right? So I was cracking up because this was like, how many interviews and the interview process and the resume process and how much crap it truly really is, how much time they really waste. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, because you go in there and your resume can be remarkable. And if that person, the interviewer, don't like you, you're not getting the job, no matter what your resume say. So I was just like reading this, and I was just like, as many times as I had to redo my resume and do this and do that and go for interviews and be nervous, and as soon as you leave out, you like, did I get it? I don't know if I got it. Then you always second guessing yourself. I ain't get it. They don't like me, whatever. It's just too much. It's like, just tell me I got the job right here, right now. Just let me know now so that I can prepare or keep looking. So I did like that. I was like, yeah, that's a perfect rant, because that's some BS. The way they do the interview processes is annoying.
It's so annoying. It's so annoying.
It's like, don't BS me. And they're like, oh, well, we'll call you. No, you're not. You already know you're not. You knew that when I first walked in this door.
Yeah. And that's my point. That was my whole point in the rant. I'm going to tell you, one of the best jobs that I ever enjoyed was working at a hospice. I ain't gonna name companies, but working at a hospice, right? I just randomly walked in there to tell you, and I'm dead serious. I had on some cut jeans. I had on flip-flops because it was nice outside. I had on flip-flops. I had on my Rest in Peace Georgie t-shirt. And I walked in there, and I was like, I asked to speak to the DON. And she came to the front, and we started talking, and I was asking her about positions, letting her know what I do and everything. And she was like, I really like you. She said, you know what? She hired me and then told me to go fill out the application, call this number, ask for such and such, let them know, this is what your start date's going to be. Off top, I said, this is what I missed, because you got to get the chance to know somebody's personality.
Exactly.
And looking at paper
is not going to give you somebody's personality.
Exactly. That's not how you, and my appearance, I'm not telling people to go walking in the jobs looking like that or nothing like that, but it was random. I just so happened to be around in that area, and I was like, let me go see it. Let me just walk in,
it's the worst that can happen.
Go. The one poem I got in there called Go. Sometimes you just gotta listen.
Gotta go.
God says go. And at that moment he said go. I went and I got the job. I left because after it's a hospice. After a while it was just it was overwhelming. But it was one of the best places I worked, and but that was part of the reason why I wrote that rant, because I was like, this is so annoying to have to keep going through this process.
Go through all of this crap. And it's like, you already knew who you was going, like especially like whenever they do hirings, and it'd be like 5 people out in the hallway when you get there, and it's like, why am I wasting my time? I don't like that. I don't want to waste my time.
And gas, because you wasting your gas. Places, it's annoying.
Most of a good suit. No, I got to go wash this. Keep this mug on standby just in case I get another interview. Now I got to go clean it all. You did all this for what? For nothing. Yeah.
See, there you go. They got that rant. That's why I wrote it.
Frank, that's it.
And that is why.
It's like, come on, man. And okay, so where am I at now? Oh yeah, okay. So the resume rant, and then failure and success.
Oh yeah.
I particularly enjoyed it, and I love the honesty, the fear, the braveness, and how to step out on faith. That's what I got out of it.
Yeah. I think that faith thing has been instilled in us, period. You know what I mean? So you're going to catch all the moments about me. Like, that's about faith. That's our faith right there, because we grew up in that, environment. But yeah, it's nerve-wracking. Like, even with doing these videos, I am my team. So me trying to figure out the internet on top of everything
how this
else
stuff works.
It's annoying, but it's necessary to be done. Like, I have to do it. If I don't do it, it won't get done.
Exactly.
And whenever you put yourself out there, like, this is what I got, and this is what I'm offering, and I need y'all to come hear these words. I always got a message. Like it doesn't matter how short the poem is, I'm saying something. Period. Like I don't just write just about nothing.
Just hot air. This is about something.
It always make sense. I don't rush into anything. So if somebody asks me to do a project and it don't make sense, it won't get done because I'm not rushing and I'm not making something up just to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's failure is success.
Yep. I was like, oh man, I get that one. I definitely get that one. Yeah, I was on the speech. And this right here actually put me like in the made me go back to, you know, being with my kid's father and just that whole clusterfuck of a situation. And the craziest part is now, you know, through the grace of God, we are not friends, but we are friendly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have anything bad to say about him.
Right.
Period. And the craziest thing is I was just over Norma's house on Friday. They had a cookout, and Jasmine took me to go get my car from the place that got it inspected. So she was like, I got to stop up Norma's, and Norma live around the corner from me. So I was like, okay, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And we get up there, and I was talking to Tyke, and he was asking me how I was doing or whatever. And he was asking about my kids, and he was like asking me if I was still with their dad. I said, no, we're not together anymore. And he went to not talk stuff, but kind of was like, yeah, he ain't make the cut with the boot. And I was like, no, because you know what? Sometimes things just don't work out.
Yeah.
But we cool, and I wouldn't say anything bad about him. And then I stopped myself and said, well, damn,
did I just say?
I said, look at God.
Okay, amen. Catch me about 5 years ago. I'd have been like,
it'd been a whole different conversation. I said, but we in different places in our lives. I said, we got a grandchild.
Growth.
Like we on that level, and it's not no negative, nothing on his part, my part. Like we just do we do our part to, you know, raise the last one. And then I'll be done.
That's growth, you know?
Yeah.
It is.
But that's what that had me thinking about. Just being a you know, single mom, just having to do it all yourself and being so torn up about a situation that did not go the way you wanted it to go.
Yeah.
And you hoped and wished and prayed with all your heart and might that it would go. And you thought, and there was never a moment in your brain that you thought that they would not turn out the way you wanted it to turn out until the shit hit the fan. And then it was like, it's just not going to work.
Them expectations.
And then the actual getting over the actual feelings of of rejection and failure, because you automatically feel like it's something you did or it was you, when 9 times out of 10 it ain't got nothing to do with you.
Nope. Mm-mm. The other person got some deeper issues. And
that was very hard to learn and let go and not be bitter and not blame him for our mistakes, because it takes 2 people to destroy a relationship.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I was for so many years on my pity party. He did this to me. He did that. Oh, victim. I think I mastered the art of being a victim. And then one day I had to wake up and say, first of all, you got to take responsibility for some of the things that happened, because it wasn't just all him. You know what I'm saying? And then that's kind of where the health and the growth kind of came in at. But
it takes a grown woman to admit that, because you do have to come to terms with that and be like, you know what? Where did I go wrong in this situation? What could I have done differently? Because I stay having flashbacks at situations, even if it was something that initially was caused by him. My reaction is my responsibility. So what I always teach the kids is be accountable for your actions, right? Period. Like you have to, I think I said this before with something else. This is what I tell them. If you get into a fight at school or wherever you're get into a fight at, and you come home and you're telling me about this fight, I want you to lead with what you did. Because when you speak out loud about what I did, like, you know, oh mommy, I smashed her head into the ground. all right, now let's backtrack. Why did you do that? Because when they hear themselves say what they've done, for some reason it just makes them think about it differently. Like, I could have handled that differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't change what's done, but you can
change how you moving forward.
Exactly. And that's the point. That's why people need to learn how to be accountable for their actions and take responsibility, own up to it. Because even if you are in the worst of worst situations, how you react is your responsibility.
Yeah.
Nobody makes you do anything.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And how you react to a situation determines what you get out of that situation and how you move past that situation, proceeding.
Yeah.
Because if you go through this situation and you learn nothing and you take responsibility for nothing, you can guarantee yourself going to be right back in that same situation.
Yep. And you want
because you didn't learn your
all
lesson
over again. Yeah. Rain wants to say hello. Sorry. Say hello.
Intermission. Hi, Ray. Hi, Boo. How you?
Huh?
She said, how
How you doing?
Good.
Good.
Say, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good. Sitting here talking.
Okay. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye, Ray.
Okay,
Bye.
yes. When I'm done, go ahead. She's sitting over there tweaking. She's sitting right across from me, like.
Oh, is she?
Yeah. I told her we can go for a walk and stuff like that. She's waiting for me to come and make her something else to eat. But all right, we're gonna continue this first because she's
Okay.
I had this set up. But what else?
Okay.
Did you have?
So next one that I really loved was the one about the shoes. Because
that was a fun one.
That one, it was like, do you know how many pairs of shoes I've amassed over the years? And then as I started thinking about this poem, it was deeper than just shoes. Because there are so many things that you feel like you just have to have it, and then once you get it, you pay no more attention once you get it. And that's like the child with the shiny, toy or whatever, you know what I mean? And as soon as they get it, their attention span is somewhere else.
Somewhere on a box. The box that it came in.
And I said, I used to be like, I was a shoe whore. I used to have shoes out of this world. But like when I had moved to North Carolina, I got rid of all of that stuff because I didn't really want no baggage from, because I was trying to start fresh. So I got rid of them shoes, and I'm currently stacking shoes again, but I'm trying not to be so like,
it's a hard addiction to give up.
Yeah, because it's like, am I really gonna wear these shoes? No, because I don't too much wear heels too much anymore, so I just
me either.
It's like, my hips be hurting, my knees be hurting, them all. I don't wear them no more unless it's a real reason for me to be wearing heels. And then as soon as I'm done taking pictures, you could best believe I got some flats.
You taking them off and you putting on your flats or your socks. Exactly.
These are just for pictures. These are just for pictures. Don't hold me for that.
And then them shoes go right on the little rack at home. And that's where they stay. You wore them that one time.
I got these shoes, but I ain't wearing them. Ain't they cute? Then somebody come over and like, oh, them is bad, ain't they? They gonna stay right there too. I ain't putting them on.
Cute as they are.
As cute as they are.
Right over there.
Right on that rack.
I love that though. And that actual shoe, I guess all the artwork I could say is Denisha's. She drew that. That was a piece of her work. I captioned it, I think.
Yeah, okay. It says artwork by Nisha.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that is cute.
Yeah.
And I liked your just my thought. That was I really liked that, what you were saying there. Because I think that's like just natural human, what we want.
Which one is that? The 100%?
It's I want to be loved 100%. I want to love 100%. Raise my daughters to be respectful. Like that's kind of like the basis for any like real person that hasn't been damaged that much, because we've all been damaged to a certain extent. I don't think there is a person that has been undamaged, but somebody that's just a normal forward thinking person that is loving, that when you love somebody, you want to love them at 100%. And when you receive love, that's how you want to receive it. Because that's why you give it at 100%.
Exactly. And there is no 50-50. Like, don't come to
Mm-mm.
me talking about 50-50. You bring 100, I bring 100, so that there's
Yep.
no gaps. Because when on the day you ain't feeling all the way 100, I got us covered, and vice versa. I don't
Exactly.
want to be dealing with nobody who's bringing
Mm.
50.
Yeah, because
I
that means you bring it
am
half-ass. You
right.
half-ass to me. I don't need
Yeah.
half-ass.
And I've already been dealing with that before, and it's just that came out of just exhaustion. Like, come on, all I want to do is
Basic, just something real
love,
basic. I'm not
be
asking.
loved, eat good food. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Raise good people.
That's
Eat
it.
good food. Like, is that too much to ask for? No. But
No,
it's like so hard.
I mean, like, really, it's so simple, but it's a difficult task. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Just because love is not in abundance as it once was, because so many things took the place of love, and then they took
Yeah.
God out of everything. So
Yeah.
that's just a trickle down effect of not having, the main stables in life today anymore. Like, the households is all jacked up,
Yeah.
society's all twisted around. So it's just like everybody, glamorizes all the negative,
Everything
everything negative.
negative. Yeah.
So,
No morals. Like, morals. What's
mm-mm.
morals anymore?
I don't know, but I hope they come back in style. Cause
Like everything else does.
yeah,
Everything else comes in back. Like,
right. Let's come back on
spin
around.
that back around.
We need to. We need it. It's crazy out here. And the briefly seductive poem, I like that
Oh,
one. And I
listen.
was just like, yeah, that's just the thought of just being physically, emotionally, and mentally loved the correct way.
Man, I read that over, and it was that. Is that your? Oh, you talking to somebody else?
No, he was showing me his hair.
Oh,
Go ahead, I'm listening to you.
that Alan
Mm-hmm.
with that deep voice.
Look.
Oh my gosh! Hi. Why is your voice so deep? I'm so mad. You was just a baby the other day.
She said, "Why is your voice so deep?"
He's so handsome. He said, "I grew up." Oh my gosh, man,
Yeah.
it's crazy. But that just threw me off because he started talking, and I'm like, where that
Who's going
baritone
on?
coming from?
That's my baby.
Wow. But briefly seductive. So briefly seductive. I when I wrote that, I was like, feeling myself, I guess. And when I read it again, I was like, oh, because I usually don't write seductive things. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
not really into that side. So every now and then it does come out. But yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. And I enjoyed just thinking, like, because I'm reading it, and as I'm reading it, I'm kind of, taking it in and just thinking, like, have you had that experience, and what person did you have that experience with? And it was like, wow, that's, okay. Like, bitch, you doing today? And then, where we at? Oh, I am a wife. I enjoyed this poem, even though I'm not a wife, but I enjoyed this poem.
Not anymore.
And I put the standards versus the availability and comfort of a friend, like having standards and not allowing yourself to fall into a false sense of security because this person is comfortable and this person is familiar, but this person is not willing to make a commitment to you or to be what you want that person to be in the light of day.
Yep.
So I kind of was like, yeah, okay.
And it's okay
I've been
to
in
walk
that
away.
situation too. And it's okay to choose your standards and step out on faith. Here we go again.
Yeah.
That word faith.
Yep. Let him know, like I said, what I say, it's been a pleasure. I thank you for letting me release on your shaft, but I gotta go. Like, I gotta go. I gotta leave this space reserved.
This is for my husband.
Exactly.
And you already got enough of this good stuff. So just be happy you was in line. You lucked up. You got the golden ticket. And you
You
stupid
had a
enough not to know
vulnerable
it.
moment.
Yeah, so I was like, wow, that's true. And the thing about this poem to me is that a lot of women need to read it, need to comprehend what you're saying, and understand also what you're saying, because that's an issue. That's a big issue with a lot of women today, is the fact that they have standards, but they're willing to just lay them by the wayside just to say that they got somebody in their life. And just because you have somebody doesn't mean you have somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It could be
like,
y'all having somebody.
Yeah, he could be for everybody. We know a lot of those. Shoot, or she could be for everybody. You know, that's universal.
Yeah, it is. It could go either way. Definitely goes either way.
I like that one, and I was like, dang, that's deep, because people, and women especially, need to stand 10 toes down in what it is that they demand. And you don't have to be, bitchy or mean or evil or any of that to demand a certain level of respect for yourself,
right?
And what you are willing and what you are not willing to deal with. If I want to be a wife, why am I sitting around here keep messing around with all these guys that I know have no intentions on putting me first or making me their wife or their queen? Right. I'm just playing myself, and I'm not standing firm on what I said my standards were.
Yep. So. You setting standards and you just letting people just knock them down
all over them.
You just letting them knock them down just to have somebody, and
just
that's
to
not
say
fair
you got
to
somebody
you.
in the house, and it's not fair to you.
Yep.
And then in turn, it's not fair to whoever's in your environment, because as a woman, you have kids in your house and you're constantly doing this. That's not only your standards, that's your self-esteem. That's how you're viewing the world. You know what I mean? Because if your mentals is messed up, everything everything from that point on, for a lot of people, it gets touched, it gets tainted with that same skewed vision, perception that you have. And it's all, to me, a chain reaction from,
right.
You know what I mean, one thing coming to another. Like, so I'm just like, that's very important, and women, and they need to start understanding that. And it's hard too, because there's so many men out here, but then there's so many niggas out here, and then there's not a lot of men out here. So it's like, I'll just take a nigga, screw it, whatever. And then it take him till he about 50 to decide to want to marry you. When in fact, he only marrying you because he's 50.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, let's be real. Like, there's no way in hell you should be dating somebody for 15, 20 years and y'all have not made a commitment. You could commit to me to make children with me, but you can't commit to me in marriage. That means you never really had plans to marry me to begin with. And those people that hang on for 20 and 30 years, he marrying you because now he's old. Now he needs you to take care of him. That's why he's marrying you.
Listen to her. Listen to her, people. Listen to her.
Come on. Like, just think about that. Men know what they want. They might act like they don't know what they want, but they know exactly what they want.
Yep. From the very beginning, they know.
As soon as they see you, they know if they want you and how they want you. If they want to just knock it off, or if they want to date you, or if they want to be friends with you, they know that.
If they want to dig deep in your mind and find out what you about and go there, then they will. That's what they do. Damn sure right about that.
And quit telling them all your bad stuff. Quit telling men all your bad stuff. And Ray did this to me, and Tony left me.
Because they use it against you.
Don't give them the ammunition to bring you down. You tell them what you won't accept. That's what you tell them. This is what I'm not going to deal with. End of story. You don't tell them how they hurt you. Then you disarmed yourself, and you armed them with all the tools to play with your mind.
Yep. You 100 on that. Real shit. You 100 on that right there. You hit the nail with a nail. The hammer. You put that motherfucker in there, like, for real. That's real shit. And every bit of what you said is every bit of what I'm feeling what I put into that, because it is important. Because if that's what you feel like you deserve, because I guess there's women out here who don't have no desire in letting that be their end goal. And
Yeah.
that's fine.
That's fine.
I'm not one of them. And I want that to be my end goal. Now, I had to put myself in a position to be like, learn what a wife is. You know what I'm saying? Although I've been married, obviously, I wasn't patient enough. I'll say that. I'll leave it at patient because there's other things that I had analyzed about myself, but that was one of the things that I wasn't patient enough to allow the commitment to like I didn't allow the emotions to flow and things happen, and I was like, as soon as something happens, I'm like, fix it now or I'm out. And that's been my attitude. It's pretty much been my attitude, even not being married. I don't like it. Fix it. And
yeah, right.
You don't fix it in the time frame that I feel is acceptable. Then my motto is always like, okay, I'll remove myself from this situation, and that's what I've been doing like all my life. I walk away. I'm not going to stay with somebody who's abusing me. I'm not going to stay with somebody who is looking for other people. So if you're in a relationship with me, but you're constantly staring at other women or, making comments about other women and trying to talk bad about the way I look or my body, I'm not going to stay with you because for what? I don't accept certain things. Now, there are certain things that I could be patient about and just wait it out. I've learned that about myself. So that's one of the things that I would take into my new commitment is to make sure that I'm patient enough, that I give the guy a fair chance if he's deserving of it.
I'm gonna say if he is,
he has to be deserving.
People ain't even deserving of that.
If I'm coming 100, you definitely have to be deserving of it. If you're not deserving of it, I'm not
about to waste my time.
Yeah, like what's the point? But thank you for that. That was good.
You're welcome. Okay, so now we're at senses.
That's my fave too.
Okay. I put intimacy in its truest form. This is the type of love we all long for, to be comfortable and secure enough in your love that the focus is on the love I'm giving in return.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why I wrote it, and I'll tell you who said it later, because I don't want to be just saying people's names and they might not want to be mentioned. So a long time ago, like when Facebook first came, around that time, it was years ago. Someone posted something. Some guy we went to school with, he made a post saying, "If I know how to cook and clean other than pussy, what would I need a woman for?" And I thought about that, and I was like, a lot of men think that way. Let me break it down to you what we would need each other for, because it's not always you need me, I need you. What do we need each other for? And I'm like, you have 5 senses that need to be catered to. You can't do that to yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just cooking, cleaning, and sex. You know what I mean? People forget about the partnership part of a relationship.
Yeah, the team, the person that got your back, the person that know you the most, the person that got your back the most, the person that you can completely be free with, the person that you can completely not even be paying attention. That would be that same person that you can walk down the street with a blindfold on and know that you're not going to trip, you're not going to fall, and he's not going to let you go.
Right.
I mean, that's a lot more than just cooking, cleaning, and sex. Because if it was just cooking, cleaning, and sex, how do people's relationships last 50 plus years? It has to be more than cooking, cleaning, and sex.
Yep. So that's why one of the favorite part I have of that is when I say to him, I hear you when you speak. That part, because a lot of times, they feel like they aren't being heard. Men feel like they aren't being heard in a relationship because we're so busy running our mouth. But I hear you. Like, I hear you when you speak, and we are going to put our thoughts together and branch out. You know what I'm saying? So when I wrote that, I just was like, I need them to know that some of us do just actually
understand
and understand. We are comprehending, we're taking it in, and we're
understand and acknowledge
your
thoughts, your fears, your dreams, your hopes, your passions. I hear you.
Yep. That's important for them to know that. So when he said that, and I never told him that, you know, I wrote that, you know, because of what he said. But when he said that, I was like, wow. And I actually wrote that in one sitting. One sitting. I didn't pause. Some of these things I paused on. But that one was one sitting, and it was necessary.
Right. But that's true. Like I was digging that. I was digging everything though, but I was just like, oh my goodness. Let me go through this. I was really like making notes. I felt like I was in school a little bit.
I love that you made notes. I love it. Absolutely. I love you a little more for that. Let me tell you.
Oh, geez. So for tightrope, I put the experience of a single mother. No matter what life throws at you, the object is to never let your children endure the blow.
Oh, dope. That was good. Yeah.
That's what
I should have put that at the. I could have put that at the end. For real. How about I write the book and you just go right there and promote them and just break them down for people, and because you breaking it all the way down and
all the way down.
And it's crazy. It's crazy because we ain't have a conversation about it before now, and everything you're saying, like you're hitting a nail on every single one. Like you're. You know, you're all smart and stuff.
Oh, you know, I was just trying to use my brain.
I love it.
But life is. I love that one too. And to me, this kind of just summed up in totality the reality we all must face. You know?
Yep.
And I was just like, that's just in a nutshell what it is from conception until, you know, until we're done.
Mm-hmm. That's short, sweet, and straight to the point.
Wasn't it? I said, okay, that was easy. So 76. I really like this one as well. It kind of got me on my Angela Davis.
Telling you
what? You know, because this is just basically the struggle of melanated people.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. I was like, wow, this is so, you know, that was deep. And then, you know, you had me all choked up with your tribute to Georgie, because, you know.
Yeah.
Like, dang, I remember some of these situations. I was there for some things, you know, so it's kind of like
Club Lager.
Yeah, we used to turn Club Lager out.
Real. We had fun. We had a good time.
Yeah, so I enjoyed it just to go back, and because it was like I literally haven't seen a picture of him since all that happened. So just to actually see his picture and just to hear just stories about him, it just kind of brought it back to the forefront of my mind, you know. And I was like, wow.
And his smile was contagious.
Yeah. I was like, oh,
he was so fun. Like that was one of the best personalities that I've ever met. Like we had a lot of fun together. We really did. And he was just a good person all around. Like everybody loved him.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. He was a lovable person. He was a good heart, good soul. He was just a good spirited person, you know. Yep. And I love the picture of Denisha and her brother. I think that's just beautiful.
That's so cute. Mm-hmm. She sent that to me. I said, "Oh, that's going in the book."
Yeah. That was cute. I said, "Oh, look at that."
And I don't know what Georgie up there talking to God about, because both of his kids turned out excellent. Like they're excellent. Like Yona did a wonderful job raising Jeremy.
That's good.
definitely a grown man and doing very well. And Denasia,
That's good.
she's
Yeah,
killing
doing her
it right
thing.
now. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm like, this is beautiful.
Blessings.
Love it.
Blessings. And then we're at my love. Yeah, I'm almost done.
He's like, get off that call.
Yeah.
Tell him we almost done. I got only 20% left on my computer, and for some reason it ain't charging. So we almost done.
Yeah. I'm doing his hair, so I gotta.
Okay.
He just came from football practice. He said check for him on ESPN soon.
Okay, I know that's right. Put it out there in the universe.
All right. Here, this is don't be easy because that's all the water we got in here. So I go get another bottle of water because the filter is done. All right, back to my love. I like this poem as well. I was, just going through just reading it like, dang. It's like my cousin is just talented.
Oh, thank you.
I was like, wow, this is so deep. And just the whole situation, like what happened and just you being pregnant. Like I kind of got so choked up.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a point in time in our lives when we really weren't around each other all the time too.
Right.
And then I found out about it and I was just like, I felt so horrible. Like, dang, and I wasn't even there for you and you was pregnant. That's how I was looking at it from a big cousin type standpoint. I don't know. That's just me. And just thinking about how you felt and, what you were going through and just that numbness and just the disbelief of it all. You know what I mean? Because I know I was in disbelief. So I could not even imagine, what you went through during that time and just, having to go through the motions of just, because it's like, it's senseless and it's like, why? And he wasn't the type of person, he wasn't out there, he wasn't causing any trouble.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
even though there is no real legit reason to murder anyone, let's just be clear. It's so frequent in our community and we've gotten so desensitized from the actual concept of death that we try to rationalize it by saying, well, he was in the streets. That doesn't that's no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a reason. And it's crazy that we do that. And it's crazy because we do that, but then whenever it's done on the TV, we're like, well, so what? But we do the same exact thing to our own people. And it's so unconscious because I don't think nobody consciously just thinks like, oh, we're going to just drag them because, you know what I mean? Because this unfortunate thing happened to them.
And they don't think about the people behind that person.
Yeah.
He's a father. He's a son. He's, you know what I mean? He had people relying on him. Yeah. And who, Jeremy was a baby, so he don't remember him. Denasia was in my stomach, so she doesn't remember him. But they have to rely on stories. They have no idea of anything. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And that's horrible, the outcome. And nobody thinks about that part of it. Because I know I really didn't think about it until I read it in the book. And then I was like, wow, I never even thought about the fact that, the kids that are left, because the kids are the ones initially at the end of the day that are left to deal with this. We hurt, we cry, but that's their father.
Yeah.
And they are going to have to carry that through their whole lives. Like, I never got a chance to meet my dad. Like,
and it hurts.
That's a lot to deal with.
Yeah. And we have to watch, as the mothers, we have to watch the
child pay attention and then watch
sure.
for that nonverbal communication.
Oh, honey, I wrote, I'm telling you, that was a rough period for us, a very rough period, because I wasn't expecting that. I didn't know that it was that bad for her. I mean, I figured it was bad for her, but I didn't know how to. I thought I was helping.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. That's a story that was featured in the Brown Mama monologues. That's the story that I wrote for that. And as I said before, that has been, man, I never cried so hard in my life trying to recite that story in auditions and just having to repeat the story over and over again so I can memorize it on stage.
Yeah.
It was rough. It really was rough, but every last mama up there was very supportive.
Yeah.
But
You did the damn thing. Because I was out there watching you.
you was there. Yeah, you was
Yes,
there.
ma'am.
What am I saying?
Yes, ma'am.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
It was pretty deep. I said, wow. Okay. And then on to the, what is that, epilogue? I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I understand those because I be having dreams too. Like, I mean, if and I were never in a relationship, but I have like frequently had dreams about him, and he never speaks to me in the dream.
Crazy. Isn't that crazy? You don't hear their
And I'm
voice?
like, I want to hug him. He's there, but he's not ever close enough to me to touch him.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, Faith,
man,
all happy trying to see me. He ain't even. I'm like, what the heck is that about?
Dreams would come back to back, and I'm like, why do I always wake up before I hear his voice?
Mm-hmm.
It just never. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
But.
Mm-hmm. And so, just my thought. I like that. Anoint yourself with joy. A positive mind creates a positive soul. Positive spirit which creates a positive reflection. This is something like that should go on like a magnet that you could put on like your refrigerator. Or you know what I mean, like something that you can see or recite to yourself first thing in the morning, because this will keep you this will set you on a positive start if you
Start
look
to the
at
day.
it and really
some positive affirmations.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I looked at. That I said that should be on a magnet that somebody should put on the refrigerator. I was thinking refrigerator just because is the way it is. I was just imagining cutting it out and just putting it on my refrigerator.
Wow, maybe I have to make you one. I'll have to make that for you.
Yeah. So, and then you said we are all created to be exactly who we are. I like that. I really like that because I feel like in my 20s, I struggled so hard, not with self-esteem because I never had self-esteem issues, but actually knowing who I am, who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, I faltered for so long with that question, like, who am I? What do I want? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it's like, I'm looking for the person that I am whenever I had to just really stop looking and just really just be instead of trying to find it.
Yeah.
Because it's right here.
Yeah.
And I think I did that. I was running in circles trying to find who I was. And all I had to do was just stand still and just listen and just actually be. And don't be afraid to be me.
Yeah, be comfortable.
And don't care about what anybody say about me. Just be me.
Yeah.
You know?
You gotta be comfortable.
That. Yeah. I was on that. I enjoyed that one because I was like, dang, that's deep, because it was like once I started changing things in my life, changing people that I hung around, changing the ways that I was moving, just like different things like that, it kind of revealed myself, and I actually came into who I really am.
And you started to appreciate yourself for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like that one. And then this disabled reminded me of the residents that I used to care for when I worked at a old folks home or whatever it's called, and how hard it is to be disabled, counted out, and put away. Like, there's a lot of people that I worked with that they didn't have dementia or they weren't disabled, but they were in there because maybe they were moving slower than they were before. And then their kids put them in there and just never came back to see about them. And they're just in there. And now their lives revolve around a series of strangers coming in and out of their room, waking them up, telling them when they got to pee, telling them they got to take these pills, telling me when I got to eat. You know what I mean? And it's like, I worked my whole life so that at the end of my life, I could be stuck basically in a jail.
Yeah. Stuck.
Yeah.
Being told what to do.
This one lady, she couldn't stand it, and her daughter put her in there, sold her house, sold her house, sold her land, because they had a house and then they had like a whole bunch of land and they had like a shed or something on their property or whatever. And she's talking about how hard her and her husband worked for their property, and as soon as the husband died and she got a little bit older, they swooped in, took the house, sold it, put her in there, and went on about they didn't even live in the state of Pennsylvania, and she's just here by herself. And she was a little slow. She was getting the signs of dementia, but she was still out there. Like she had pictures of her house, you know, and her little personal stuff, and she was real serious about her stuff. Like she don't take a Jello cup off her tray.
Yeah.
Like she was real serious about people taking stuff off of her. And I said the reason why they took her house that way is she worked her whole life to pay for that house. And she said by the time her husband died, the land and the house, everything was bought and paid for.
Traumatized.
And it made me think of her and her struggle.
That's funny you even said that, because when I did my training, I gotta move so I can keep my battery going. When I had my training, I for CNA licensing or whatever, the woman teaching the class, she was like, okay, write down, you know, 5 things that you really love in this world.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody wrote down their little 5 things, and she was like, okay, well, throw one of those pieces of paper my way. I'm taking it away from you. So she did that until it dwindled down to, you know, you not having anything. And she said, this is exactly what people go through. They go through life. They have their belongings. They work. They, you know, have their house, their car, and everything. And one by one, it's taken away from you. How would you feel? And that put a whole another spin on the way I thought about my job. You know what I mean? I think it's important that people have that opportunity to meet or work in that field, because it just gives you a whole nother outlook on life, period.
Yes, it does. It does. And it's like, and that's a type of industry, and they really honestly should pay more for that type of an industry, because that's an industry that you need to come to with heart, compassion, empathy, and sympathy for every situation that's going on in there. Because I looked at all them people like my grandmas and my granddads.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or my great grandmas or my great granddads. And just the things that you would just think like that is just so common sense, but people are in a rush, like washing somebody up, taking them in a wheelchair and wheeling them in the washroom and just cutting that water on them. Yeah. You couldn't heat it up. You couldn't heat up the washroom first so that whenever they're naked in there, they can't, you know, how would you feel?
Yeah.
How would you feel if somebody did this to your grandma or your you know? That's why I was like, I did it for a little bit, but I don't have the stomach for incontinence. So I was like, deuces.
You got to have the stomach for that.
I can't do it. I can't. Oh, my stomach's weak.
Even the other folks, not everybody isn't, you know.
No, but the floor, the way the floor rotated, you had to take every level floor. Like you couldn't just stay up on the top. If I could have just stayed up on 5, 4, and 3, I would have been fine. It was 2. It was 3. The other half of 3 and 2 that was like the dementia floors, and it was a schedule, so it had to rotate. So you had to take the floor. That was the problem, because if I could have stayed upstairs with them, that was fine. But when you telling me I gotta change some Pampers, oh, miss me.
I went to school for business. Work a lot, but then I recently started working with people with the intellectual disability. So a lot of them aren't incontinent. Some of them are. You know, there's the older population, but those are the people that they used to have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because mentally they can't comprehend the way that some of us do. And they have what they call behaviors and stuff like that. So they do things off the fly. You know what I mean? They might throw something and not even know why they threw it. And you can't, you know what I mean? You just got to explain to them, like, this is why we don't throw things, but they're an adult. So working with them too, you know, they have no voice. So you have to kind of be their voice as well. You have to be their advocate and make sure that nobody's doing anything wrong to them.
Yeah, you have to have compassion and you have to truly care. It can't be about the money with those types of jobs. Money. That's what I'm saying. Like, and then some people take it just to make their ends meet, and they're truly not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A fit for that job. Like when I started it, the lady's like, well, you know, this is what you're gonna have to do, Pampers, all that. And I'm like, and I got away with a little bit because whenever they was training me up on the upper floors.
Yeah.
So I was cool. But then eventually it's like she got to come down to the dementia floor. Everybody got to do it. And I wasn't scared but I knew that I'm not like I'm compassionate. I'll talk to you. If they tell me I got to wash you up, you're gonna go in there. The room is gonna be nice and warm. The water's gonna be nice and warm. I'm gonna wash you nice, like I would do my own. You know what I mean? But as soon as you poop, I'm like, help! This is a 911 emergency.
Like I'll do everything else, but I need
everything
you.
else. But I can't do this. And people with colostomy bags. Oh Lord. I was like,
oh yeah, girl.
No ma'am, Pam. Like I can't do this.
That's a whole other odor right there when you gotta burp the bags.
And I'm like my stomach is weak. I can't do it. I just can't.
It takes a special person to do that job.
I don't look. I'm not the one. That's why I told her I'm gonna have to find another job because this ain't it.
But yeah, it was necessary to write that. People need to know that there are folks in the world that's like that really needs help. And when you see people out, you know, working or you know they're different than you, don't be making fun of them. I don't like that.
No, I don't either.
Like don't be talking about them. So yeah, I had to write that.
It was good. And now we're at go, so we already know what that is.
Go.
Yeah. You better listen.
Be obedient.
Cause be obedient and be ready. Be ready too.
Be ready. Yes.
Because it ain't gonna sit there and be like you be ready to bless you. And you like, can you come back in like 2 to 7 days?
Right. 5 to 10 business days. I ain't ready.
That's your blessing.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? You better be ready. And forgot to forget. I like that one. I was like, oh shit. I like the title too.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites too. That's one of my top favorites.
Yeah. I like
any event I have to do, I probably do that one at every event that I've done. They probably like, listen, do you have another one? That's like my
yeah,
thing.
but I'm feeling this one.
Yeah, and it's the time that we're living in. It's
necessary. Absolutely. Taylor cut for this time now in society.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's crazy that I didn't even know about a black and white prom.
Oh yeah.
That's deep.
Yep.
That is deep.
That was in 2008.
Like this time in 2008.
Crazy.
There's segregated proms. Like that's
crazy.
Unreal. That's crazy.
Yep.
It goes to show like we don't be knowing, everything that's going on out here. Cause come on, we was the majority in Peabody.
Yep.
But our other cultures I was there was cool.
Cool as hell. All of them
was just thugged out. It was just awesome.
We had fun. We only had one race wide. One. We had one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But other than that, we had a good time at Peabody.
Yeah, like all the peoples that was there, I was like, oh, even though I was spent my time being not even mad, but just not even defending myself. What can I say? Ripping on people. Trying not to be like, because I never cared. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to say something and talk about you and try to.
Why are you mad? Yeah.
And I'm like, I never even did nothing to you. But since you want to start, because remember what I say, as long as they don't touch you, it don't matter.
It don't matter.
You ready to pop off at the first. I'm like, we ain't about to be getting suspended up in here because of these.
Right.
Because as soon as we get to Garfield, they gonna go their separate way. We gonna go our way, and then it's gonna be round 5 tomorrow at school. Like, ain't nobody got time for this. Seriously.
Yeah, that's when I realized people just like to talk.
Because just remember whenever you approached that one chick, we ain't saying their names.
Yeah.
and she would step off the sidewalk, we ain't saying their names.
Right.
Like
yeah.
all that, and for what? For nothing. I wish her
just to raise my blood pressure.
Mm-hmm. Everybody got time for you. Come on.
Shit,
and I wish everybody well. Come over. Well, yeah, Mustang.
Where you at now?
Forgiveness. Featuring Mona. Is her name
Monet?
Monet. Yeah, she was dropping. Y'all was both dropping that. I said, okay, y'all.
That's my girl.
I like this poem. I really like the way y'all split it up.
Yeah.
That was nice. And I was digging this poem for real, for real. I was had to pray and everything for a moment.
Honey, I cannot wait to do this and post
I
it.
can't wait to hear this.
We gotta be in the same room to do it though, because the back and forth. Like I wouldn't be able to do it on a call with her like this. Man, that was probably one of the best. That was my first time collaborating with somebody, and it turned out like
it's
that.
Fire, yeah.
Crazy.
I like this.
I can't wait to share that with the world. I be telling her that all the time. Like, Monet, we have got to share this with the world.
Yeah. Monet, if you watching this was bomb. Y'all did a great job. And I really appreciate this poem. And I want to hear it live. Yep. I want to hear it live in action. Because y'all was dropping some jewels in this poem.
Thank you.
I was appreciating that. Yeah, definitely. Let's see. And creating therapy. Come on. I like that too. It is crazy because I began to do this, but I didn't know that I didn't set out to do it. Self-analyzation. Yeah. It just happened. Like circumstances happened, and then it kind of was the catalyst that kicked off the self-analyzation. And I didn't even notice that that's what that was.
Yeah. It's important.
Yeah, especially when you gotta look in the mirror sometimes and you gotta call yourself out. You gotta keep yourself in check.
Yep. Absolutely.
Better you do it than somebody else.
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
Because you can't tell me you don't know whenever, especially people that are inherently good people, when you do stuff that's wrong because it bothers you. Don't sit right with yourself. So if you know, nigga, check yourself.
Yep, and fix it. Because you're the only person that can fix you or change. Yeah, make any changes. Nobody else can change you. Mm-hmm. So you've got to analyze your own faults and come to terms with it. And then, do your apologies if they're necessary.
I don't
got time to
but just pick up and just move. My focus being, now if you're somebody that I harmed and you're in my circle or, my vicinity, okay. But I just focus on moving different, learning a lesson, and just moving different.
Yeah, and that's all you can do. You know,
and also forgiving yourself for the mistakes that you made, because that's why we're here. We're here to make mistakes and learn and evolve.
That's the part. That part is the part that people forget about. You got to learn from it.
Yeah.
Then you got to decide, okay, anytime this situation happens again, I will handle it differently because now I have a different outlook.
I know better.
Yeah,
when you know better, you're supposed to do better.
Right. So that definitely was a good wrap up.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Lo, I didn't know you was gonna break them all down. You went one by one. You done talked about the pictures and everything. I really, really appreciate you for getting the book, for one. And for two, for coming up here and talking to me on, it ain't live, we're on Zoom. So I am going to post it. Hopefully it turns out in the split screen. We'll find out. Overall, it was a great conversation. So I'm posting it regardless.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate you. I love you very, very much. Like you're one of my favorite people ever. Your personality is dope. Like you've always been very mellow and funny. You're always fun to hang around, So
thank you
you don't need to change. You know what I'm saying? You had your moments in your lifetime, as we all do. But overall, you're a great person. So don't accept no shit from nobody. Period.
Yeah, that was the thing I had to change.
Yeah, that's it.
Stand 10 toes down on those standards.
Mm-hmm. Now you walking around looking more and more like Rita. You ain't got to put up with no shit, because she don't put up with no shit.
She don't. She got all the smoke. My mom speak with the shits.
For real.
Truth.
But I'm going to go get me a glass of wine, because I don't have time to keep on watching you.
I know. I thought you was going to have your wine. I had my thoughts.
Hey,
I read this book. I analyzed. I put down my little cliff notes.
He was ready.
We about to have a conversation.
That's a whole session right there. You was ready. You wasn't playing no games at all. I love it. I hope everybody come to the table like this. You have raised the bar. I'm telling everybody to come with a conversation. Listen, you better have your notes ready.
Let's go. I got time.
Okay, for real. Have your shit in order. I love it. I really, really, really appreciate it so very much. All the support that you have given me every single time you showed up for anything that I've done, no matter how small or big it was. I really, 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 really appreciate it. Shit, we go back to 6 months.
Oh, flats on the Cadillac.
Okay. So if no matter what, we don't talk every day or not, it's still no love lost. Never will be. We just, you know what I mean? This is how we
right at where we left off at.
Exactly. We vibe like
That's
that.
how it should be.
Yep. That's how it's gonna always be.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and braid his hair.
Okay,
I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I would like to come over there, but you live so far from me right now.
I know,
so
right?
tired.
Truth.
But
I understand.
Go ahead and enjoy your wine. I'm gonna go pour me some.
Okie dokie.
I'll send you a cheers.
Okay.
All right. Love you, honey.
I love you too, Boo. I'm so proud of you. And everybody, go pick this up.
Yes. It's on Amazon.com right now. Don't forget to leave a review after you purchase the book. Leave a review.
I gotta go back and do that. I didn't do that part yet.
Follow my author's page and stay tuned for more.
All righty.
All right. Peace.
Bye-bye.